to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause. Hello, my darlings. We're back.
We are back.
Huzzah. And this is season 3, episode 1 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, a perimenopause expert and life coach.
I can't remember what I used to say. So
I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter.
Yeah,
Like
here to learn with you guys or something.
yeah. You're just here to provide. Yeah, whatever.
I'm here
We're
for the vibes.
We're chilled. So we had a bit of a break because you got poorly, then I got poorly, then Scott got poorly.
And then
it just went, woo.
Yeah.
And then
When was the last time? December?
I don't know, because it just came one of those, and Ellie came back off maternity leave.
In Feb.
And then it was just like, I don't know what happened. And then we were like, no, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And here we are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Huzzah, we're back. So we don't
Did you miss us? Because we missed you.
We did. And we sat down and went, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in the
Yay,
seats.
we're back. So we don't have any questions because we didn't tell anybody we're doing it. We said we have to do it, so we're here. So I said, well, I will tell everybody about my weird experience this week instead. Shocker.
No,
Stay
it's weird.
tuned. Don't go anywhere because it was a weird one. Even for me. And it's not many things are weird for me anymore.
Mm.
And this was weird.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about coils, progesterone, medicine that interferes and all that kind of jazz today. So it's going to be
educational one.
It's too much information. It's a bit of a TMI / informational / educational / ooh.
Only listen when you're at home.
Yes. And do not listen with little people around.
That's a good, yeah.
Yeah. Trigger warning. Don't, or just flash something warning. Don't listen with little children around because it's way too much information. I told my 3 girls and all 3 of them went, ooh. So, and they're 18, 20 and 25.
Yeah.
So don't listen with little children. So, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then I'll begin.
That rings a bell.
It's like when you say to little children.
Yeah.
So it was like when we had children's story time when we were little. I think it was Jack and Nori or something. You won't even know what that is. My age will know what that is. And it was like when you got to sit down for story time, they would say, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then I'll begin.
That just sounds like the 70s.
Yes, it was the 70s. Obviously, it was the 70s. You lot would be like, could have an iPod, miss. So, yes. So, what happened to me this week? Right. For the last couple of weeks, I had a bit of just an awkward feeling down there. And I was like, I'm
already cringing.
And do you know when you think, oh, is it, when sometimes you get like a little pimple or something on your bikini line or a little bit more than your bikini line? You think, what is that? That feels a bit weird. And then you think, oh, I don't want to know what it is because if it's anything gruesome, I'll have to go to the doctor. And you think, oh. But it was getting more and more a little bit uncomfortable. And then Sunday night, I thought, right, I'm going to have to investigate. Because you do, don't you? You have to put your kind of big kind of head on and think, I'm going to have to see what it is.
You do have to be brave.
You do have to be brave and go, okay, it's my own body. I need to know what that is. So I investigated and I thought, oh, that feels a bit sharp. Wonder what that is. And I pulled said item and it was my IUD. Yes, it was my Mirena coil that had got dislodged and was working its way down. So I had to then obviously pull it out because it wasn't where it was supposed to be. And yes, ladies, that smarted. My eyes did water at that point because
it's the most painful thing.
No, it's not the most painful thing. The most painful thing was when through lockdown, I should have had it taken out and I couldn't get an appointment and it actually got embedded in my uterus. That was the most painful one. And she did say to me at the time, I think you need to come back under general anesthesia. And I said, how long is the appointment likely to? And she goes, well, there is a few months delay. And I went, just take it out. And she went, are you sure? And I said, yeah, sure. And the nurses looked away at that point because they couldn't bear to look.
Because it's worse taking it out than putting it in pain-wise.
Yeah, but when the one that I had taken out during lockdown, when it was actually embedded into my uterus, it was just after lockdown because the nurses actually looked away. And you know, when the nurses look away,
They're made of steel.
they're made of girders, like made in Scotland from girders. You know, at that point, they literally couldn't. They were like, I can't look, and that's when you know, oh shit.
So if you're not cringing yet, there's something wrong with you.
Yes, you know, at that point, made the bad choice. Anyway, so I was like, ow, that hurt. That was my first choice. And B, ooh, and then C, what do I do now? Now, here's where it gets interesting, because I know from my knowledge that after the age of 50 and me being 51, technically, I shouldn't have another coil fitted.
Yeah.
Because they only fit them.
That is the first thing you said to us.
That's the first thing I said to you. Because up to the age of 50, you can have Mirena coil. So I have the Mirena coil because it forms part of my progesterone. The story is that obviously for HRT, you need estrogen and progesterone. We need the balance of the two. Okay. And so I have the Mirena coil as my progesterone. So I said, oh, okay, I need to go to the doctor then tomorrow. And I called them up in the morning and I said, I need to go and get my progesterone because they need to be in balance.
Yeah.
And I had the estrogen patch as my estrogen, clearly. So I thought, I'll probably just ask them if I can go on the Conti patch, the dual one. And if you're on the Conti patch, you have the estrogen patch for half of the month, and then you have the dual patch for the other half of the month. And I rocked up and I spoke to the nurse. She was lovely, senior nurse. We had a good chat. And by the way, next week's episode is going to be all about new testosterone regulations that come in, which I'm very excited to talk to you about. So you have to tune in next week as well, because it's exciting news. So need to talk to you about that one.
I'm excited. You haven't told me about it.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Oh, it's super exciting. Brilliant news.
We'll leave the reaction to as and when.
Yes, you need to tune in next week for episode 2. So chatting away to it, and I said, can I go onto the Conti patch? And she said, no. And I was like, oh, okay. Mean? Why? So it turns out, because I have neuralgia, one of the medicines I have for neuralgia, which is topiramate, interacts with the progesterone. And so they can't accurately gauge, because it speeds up liver enzymes. So they can't accurately gauge what dose of progesterone I would then need. So they can't do a patch at all because the patch is balanced between estrogen and progesterone. So they couldn't give me a larger patch. There's no patches that aren't balanced. They couldn't give me lower estrogen and then higher progesterone in a patch. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So they'd have to give me oral progesterone, and they'd have to guess, or they'd have to double the dose, and that's not as safe.
Yeah.
So they could do it in the interim while I'm waiting for another coil to be fitted, but they couldn't do it long term because they don't want to give people a really, really high dose of oral progesterone. So in the instance that that's the case, what they do for women like me is I'd have to have the Mirena coil forever.
Forever?
Yeah. As long as I'm on HRT. Now, if you followed me for a while, or you listened to my podcast before, it used to be, or the old guidelines, or the non-informed guidelines, and I hate to say that because I do love our NHS and I do love our doctors, but if you know anything about me, I've got a petition, which I will put into the show notes, because doctors do not need to have HRT training. They do not have to have perimenopause training. They do not have to have menopause training. So I have a petition.
Just by simply opting out.
Well, they just don't have to have it. So they just can choose not to do it. And if they do have to do it, it's a few hours. It's not like days and days and days or weeks or months, whatever, of training for the NHS. So I have a petition at the moment in the government to say, please, can we make perimenopause training mandatory, and every GP surgery should have one fully qualified perimenopause, menopause trained member of staff, because at the moment it's Russian roulette. Like, you can go to your local GP surgery and there could be 3, 4 fully qualified members of staff, or there could be none. Yeah. So I've got a petition in the government, which I will put into the show notes, and please sign it if you can. All you have to be is a UK citizen. Unfortunately, it's not available to our listeners abroad. But if you can sign it, that would be amazing, because we're trying to get enough signatures so that they discuss it in Parliament, basically. And if you can share it with all your friends and family.
We're all on the same team.
We are all on the same team with this, because we want to get better menopause and perimenopause health for anyone in the UK.
As you deserve.
Yeah, and if we can get it through in this country, then maybe we can get it influence other countries as well. So that's what we're trying to do. Where did I get up to the story? So if you're a woman like me that can't have the oral progesterone for any reason, then you can have the coil. Now, they used to say you should take HRT for a maximum of 5 years. Now, the NICE guidelines, and again, NICE, N-I-C-E, isn't that lovely?
You say that, isn't that lovely?
Isn't that lovely? The NICE guidelines say that as long as the benefits outweigh the cons of having HRT, you are the one that decides how long you take the HRT for. You can have it as long as you want until the day you die. So technically,
you can have it forever.
You can have it forever.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying that every woman has to have HRT. It's a very, very, very individual choice, and it's your decision whether you want it or not. You've
always been a big advocate on that, yeah.
You do you, babe.
Yeah.
You can decide, I want it for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, till the day I die. So for me, I've now got to have a Mirena coil fitted every 4 to 5 years.
Every what?
4 to 5 years.
4 to 5?
Not 45.
I was like, well, okay.
Yeah, it's a Titanic one.
Yeah.
Titanium.
Yeah.
So I've got to go through this now every 4 to 5 years for the next, could be 50 years.
It's so worth it.
Well, I haven't got a choice.
Yeah.
So that's that.
And you're used to the Mirena coil, but for how many years?
Oh, I mean, I've had it since Jenna was born.
Jenna's now 18.
So I've had already 4. Yeah. Right. So I prepared a list of medicines because it's not just a pyramid. Okay. And this is what you need to understand. There are different medicines that will say it's not suitable for you to have a patch. Now, why am I telling you this? Again, I am not bashing our wonderful NHS. I'm not bashing your wonderful doctors. But unless your doctors know that you are taking certain medications, because some of what I'm going to say is a teeny tiny little bit controversial, because some of the things that you may be doing, you might not be telling your doctor about.
What does that mean?
So I'm not being mean. You know me, I'm not mean. I'm a delight. I'm a joy. I'm a fluffy bunny rabbit marshmallow cookie.
Bit far, but yeah.
Well, some of the new weight loss injections.
Yeah.
Are really not a good combination with progesterone, unless you're like me and you have a Mirena coil. Why the Mirena coil is because it puts the progesterone into your uterus. You don't take it orally, so it's not going into your system, it's going into your uterus, okay? And the weight loss injections have a similar problem, but what the weight loss injections do is they slow down the digestion. I mean, they're used for diabetes and they're used for weight loss. The semaglutide. So we're talking about Ozempic, we're talking about Wegovy, we're talking about what's that other one? The one beginning with M. You know what I'm talking about. What they do is they slow down the stomach emptying, which is why you don't feel hungry as quickly. They change how well oral progesterone is absorbed. So if you've got the Mirena coil, it bypasses the gut. So if you are on one of these weight loss, Mounjaro, that's it, you need to go and you need to be really, really honest with either your senior nurse practitioner or your GP. Tell them, because the thing is that a lot of these injections now are available privately. So you might not have been prescribed it by your doctor. And this is why I'm saying you need to be going to your doctor, having a really honest conversation with them, let them know that what you're doing, because it might be other medicines, not just your HRT, but that's nothing to do with me. I'm not a circus, not my monkeys on that one.
But it becomes like, it's not even judgment. It's a health concern.
It's a health concern because any medicines that rely on your gut and rely on a slow release or rely on a certain time release of that medicine, what you've got to understand is now that those injections are helping your gut to slow down the release, they can affect the absorption of any medicine. So when it comes to progesterone, it's nothing to do with your estrogen. It's just the progesterone side of things. So whether you have it transdermally or whether you have it in oral, we just need to be careful. And the only one that we know for sure will not be affected is the Mirena coil, because it goes straight into your uterus and doesn't cause any problems. And it's so important to get the progesterone right, because that's the one that protects you from developing a thicker uterine lining. And I don't want to say the C word, but that's why.
You went through the C word. I was like, that's not appropriate.
No, that's not the see you next Tuesday version.
That's funny. I never clocked that. That's a good one. I like that.
I introduced it to lots of friends, but that's why, because when the lining gets thicker and thicker and thicker and out of control, that's when the danger is. Right. So, but that's why we need the estrogen and the progesterone to be balanced, because the progesterone is the one that sheds the lining. So that's why it's so important to have them both in balance, you see. Okay, so that's why if you've got a womb, we need to always make sure the estrogen and the progesterone are on the same page. Okay.
And it feels so much better as well, because I have a coil because I have endometriosis and I produce too much estrogen. My life did a 180 after having the Mirena coil. Like my moods are regulated, my periods, my hormones.
Exactly. So progesterone is the one that we call a soporific. So it's the one that makes you feel calmer. It makes you feel more relaxed. It makes you feel more balanced. Okay. So that's the soporific effect of it. So if you're estrogen, if you've got something like endometriosis and you're estrogen dominant, you're going to feel moody. You're going to feel crampy. You're going to feel headachy. You're going to feel bloated. And then when you introduce a more balanced progesterone, it's going to make you feel calmer. It's going to make you feel more grounded, more earthed.
It really does.
Yeah. And so that's why progesterone is really, really important, and we have to get it right. Now, the problem when you go into something like Mounjaro, Wegovy, whatever, is that if you're suddenly not getting the progesterone correctly, you can end up with all these issues again. I don't want to harp on about it because I don't want anyone to think that I'm having a go at them, because I'm really not.
No, it's just to be honest with your doctor.
Be honest with your GP or your senior nurse practitioner and just say to them, this is the situation. I'm on this for weight loss, and it's, because they can really, really help. Okay, so other things that may interfere with progesterone, anti-epileptics. So for me, it was topiramate because I have a neuralgia problem. Carbamazepine, phentoin, phenobarbital, if I'm pronouncing these incorrectly, forgive me. Primidone. Then there's ones like anti-infectives. So there's some TB antibiotics. So things like rifamycin, rifabutin. There's some antifungal ones like grisafulvin, some HIV medications. I'll just say what they are, and then I can put them in the show notes because I'm really butchering this. And then obviously the weight loss injections. So the semaglutides like the Ozempic, Wegovy, and even some of the ones like the dulaglutides like Triloxy and those ones. You can even get vaginal forms of progesterone. They're less common, but you could even get those ones as well. And then there's other ones like St. John's wort, which is a herbal antidepressant that interferes with it as well. High dose steroids, bile acids, sequestrants.
Again.
It's just why I pronounce things. I'm struggling with them. It's because my brain's struggling with the word recognition. It's just a lovely side effect of perimenopause. But those are the things that may interfere. So I would just be really, really careful. Other things like blood pressure tablets, non-enzyme inducing antibiotics like amoxicillin, all those ones, HRT, they're all absolutely fine. Don't worry, if I haven't mentioned those, they're absolutely fine. And if you're worried, please go and see your GP. I'm not a medical practitioner. I'm not your doctor. I'm not your nurse. I'm just telling you that there is the potential for these things to interfere. Please go and speak to, if you're worried and you're taking these medicines and you're on HRT, please go and speak to your medical practitioner. They're on the side of caution because we want to make sure that you're doing the right thing for yourself. Okay. And I think that's just the most important thing, is just take care of yourself and make sure that you're aware of these things, because I personally didn't realize, because I knew about the weight loss injections, I knew about some of the antibiotics. I didn't know that the one that I'm taking for my neuralgia, because it's a way obscure one, it's anti-epileptic, but I take it for my neuralgia. I had no clue, I'm not going to lie, that was one that would interfere. Okay.
It's good to know.
It's good to know.
I've actually learned a lot today.
Yeah. Also, if your coil ever falls out, it's very, very rare. I've never heard of it before. I went to see the nurse and she went, yeah, it's unusual, but it can happen. If it does, don't panic. Just go and see your nurse. And she'll be like, she'll be chill. But yeah, that was a weird one. I'm not going to lie. Not my
Every time you mention it now, I feel my own.
Yeah, that's just, yeah. But I just took some ibuprofen. It didn't bleed or anything. It must have been dislodged for quite a while. But yeah, weird. Ew. But on that note, hi everybody, welcome back. So, as I said, next week I'm going to be telling you some very, very, very exciting news about female testosterone, why it's important, what you're going to do about it, and some great news for all the women in the UK. And I tested my own theories about how you can gain access to it, which is very, very exciting. Bum, bum, bum. So I will be telling you the inside gossip on that one as well.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, so stay tuned next week. If you have any questions, as always, we will put the links in the show notes underneath. Please, please, please ask us your questions, because that's why we're here. If you want to join our free perimenopause group, it's Perimenopause with Kate Grosvenor. If you want to join our membership, it's absolutely fantastic. You can join we've got so much going on now in there. Recipes, weight loss challenges, yoga things, resources, community, discount on the lifestyle brands, the whole shebang. It's an amazing place to be. That will be and it's £9 a month, which is like pence a day. Yeah. So it's a great, great, great place to be. If you have any questions, just reach out and let us know, and we will see you next time. It's goodbye from me.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books, or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time. Remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.